Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Jesse, and I am with Exploring by the Seat of Your Pants. We are the digital education partner of your Toronto Zoo. So we've partnered with the zoo over the last, 4 or 5 years now and bringing amazing, virtual, incredible programs to people joining us on our YouTube channel, on the Zoo YouTube channel, Zoo Facebook. So wherever you're joining from today, welcome in for another spectacular program. Just 2 days ago, we joined them for an amazing World Rhino Day, and today we are diving in with one of my very favorite creatures, which I'll introduce in just a second. I wanted to note too that this is a 3-part presentation or a 3-organization partnership for today's special celebration. Us at Exploring by the Seat of Your Pants, of course, the amazing team at the Toronto Zoo, and Earth Rangers. So Earth Rangers is the kids conservation organization. We're going to feature a special message at the end of the broadcast to highlight how your kids can take part and keep the learning going after this session is done. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to our zoo friends. They are going to blow our minds with some of the amazing stuff behind gorillas today. We're going to learn about their conservation. We're going to learn about the amazing trip at the zoo and how we can take part to take action to help them from home, wherever we're joining from around the globe. So without further ado, thank you so much for joining us today, Zoo Team, and take us away.
Hi, everyone. Happy World Gorilla Day. Thank you for joining us. And I'm Heidi. This is Michelle.
I am Sue.
And we're just 3 of the gorilla keepers here at the Toronto Zoo. And they will be coming out momentarily. And we've got a lot of treats set up for them. And it's just a special day for them to celebrate gorillas. And they're going to come out and they're going to grab all the browse that we've got out there and little snack treats that they've got. So we're really excited to share this day with you. Oh, here they come. So that is Ngozi, who's got the bag in her mouth. So she's doing a little bit of shopping here. She's grabbing some stuff. And of course, her daughter, who's not so much a baby anymore, that's Charlie, looking at the box. And there goes Jahari over there, over to the side, and she's going to see what treats she can grab. And then, of course, Charles. Oh, look, he's going right into the bag. And he's seeing what treats he has. So Charles is our silverback. He's almost 50 years old, which is really quite old for a gorilla. And Ngozi there, she's 22. Jahari, 20. Oh, Jahari's got a big banana leaf. They absolutely love the banana. And Charlie's getting the treats out of the bowl hanging up. And there is Nika out here, but I think Nika has gone to the other side of the exhibit because she knows there will be more treats down at the other end. So she's away from the competition. And she's doing some shopping of her own, getting the treats at the other end. So you can see we've got streamers up here. We have found that Charlie really likes playing with streamers. So, because this is a party to celebrate gorillas, we have put things out here that they really enjoy. And again, Ngozi now, she's picking up a banana leaf. And you can see there's some hibiscus plants out here that they can snack on. And then you can see the boxes we've decorated. Not that they know what it says, but we wanted you guys to see the boxes. Like there's one down at the bottom underneath the Happy World Gorilla Day. That's made to look like a cell phone because, of course, cell phones do impact gorillas because of the mineral that's found in them. So we have a recycling program at the zoo, and we'll probably talk about that a little bit later. So that's the cell phone down there. And, of course, we've decorated the bags more for your benefit than for the gorillas. And then, of course, there's a little stuffy. I know it's hard to see, but that is a little gorilla over there. And we do have several gorillas here that really, really enjoy playing with the stuffed animals. Oh, look at Charlie. Oh, she's going to empty that bag. So Charlie is just 3 years old. So she's getting quite big already. Believe it or not, Charlie is still breastfeeding, and she will breastfeed just probably for at least another half a year, but of course it's becoming less and less frequent. And Ngozi there, she's, just in case anyone's asking, nobody's pregnant. We're not expecting any offspring. So, this is it for the kids. Present with the family group right now. They are in the other exhibit, and those are the two bachelor boys, and that would be Siddiqui and Nasser. And they can no longer, they were born into this family group, but because they are now, one is a silverback and one is quickly turning into a silverback, they can no longer be with the family group because there would be competition for the females. They would be fighting with Charles. So they are now part of a bachelor group, and they are enjoying their own treats in the other exhibits.
Charles answered the cell phone call. Look at him, he's got the box of the cell phone. So yeah, they're gonna forage like this until they feel they're nice and full. It's kind of interesting watching them eat the browse. You see how they stripped all the banana portion off first, and then Rosie's going shopping some more. She's got some ficus in her bag. She's gonna look around for anything else she might have. The ginger plant, they take the leaves off first. Charles is on a watch, watching her where she's going, and that's what she's gonna get because he wants to make sure he's got what he wants. If she doesn't take it all. And Jahari gets out of the way, she's doing a little bit of posturing, but look at, she's scored. She's got her own ficus. A little bit of treats in there. A lot of fun to watch. It's a big crowd here right now, so pardon if you can't hear us, but it's all about, celebrating the gorillas. So if the people want to do that with us, of course we want them here doing it too. Ngozi stripped that banana leaf. She's doing her special way of peeling off the eating that first. They like the stalk too. We saved that for the boys later. Yeah, and Ngozi's like, no, I'll take that one as well. You're not getting it, Charlie. Sorry.
Yeah, and Nika was trying to climb up the backside of that the rock. Ngozi is the dominant female. Of course, Charles is the dominant gorilla of the whole group, but Ngozi, she rules the roost as far as the females go, and she gets first pick after Charles. But he's older now, so he's quite content to just sit there and feast in his own little bowl and grab all his treats. If it was one of the younger boys, they would be definitely running around this exhibit trying to grab everything in sight. So
just look at him goes at the top of that with almost like a feast going on.
Yeah, she does.
We have a lot of people that have how much they love gorillas, and the video share with you guys showing you some of the people out there that so many people love gorillas for a variety of reasons, including ourselves. But it'd be great to show you a little bit. And we have a video from one of our projects we support in Africa, Ape Action Africa, and the controller there made a video for us, which is wonderful. So we'll let you see that soon.
Fantastic. Guys, would you like us to go to Why We Love Gorillas to kick us off, or we're going to chat about them a little more first?
Yes, please.
What was the
Oh, you're cutting out a little bit, guys. Sorry about that. So for our folks on YouTube and Facebook worrying about the connection, we are in the middle of the zoo. We're in one of the densest, biggest enclosures. Sometimes the connection's not as good as it could be, but hang tight. We are learning a lot together. Sean and the team, are we good to play that video to kick us off?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. Let's do that and bring that guy up. We'll kick it off with a fantastic video of why we all love gorillas. All right.
Happy World Gorilla Day. We're really, really happy to celebrate with you. Let you in on our beautiful family of gorillas. It's September 24th. We're going to let you have a look at the behind the scenes, everything that we do for these guys, everything that we do for the gorillas in the wild, and show you some inside You can share the insights too.
Hello, everyone. I am Mr. Abdullah. I grow up in Africa. From all us here in Cameroon, happy World Gorilla Day. And thank you to everyone at Toronto Zoo for all your help and support.
Hi there, my name is Dalton Young and I'm the CEO of your Toronto Zoo. Why I love gorillas is they remind us all how it wasn't that long ago we were living in nature and how there's so much we have to do to protect those wild spaces for them, for future generations.
What I like with gorillas is that they're funny and really smart and super cute. They're really fascinating to watch and they're really good with their children.
I love that I can make a difference for gorillas around the world.
The thing I love the most about the gorillas are their personalities because they're all so different. Like some are sweet and funny like Jamari, and others are more serious and bossy like Ngozi. And I just love watching them like interact with each other, and I find them very fascinating.
Ethan, say gorilla. Does Ethan love gorillas? Gorilla.
Hi everyone, thanks for joining us for World Gorilla Day. We're so excited to be talking to you about our 7 Western Himalayan gorillas. Here's Charles right here waiting for a treat from us. So we're going to be talking about a lot of facts today about gorillas and what we do to help them in the wild and also what you can do to help the gorillas as well. There you go, Charles. Yeah, he's one of our oldest gorillas here at the zoo, and everyone around Toronto knows Charles. So tune in for this really exciting presentation.
I like gorillas because they're cute, they like to play, they're funny, they're smart, and we're related because we're all apes. I love their lives, and I love to play. I know we just got hands and feet, and it doesn't make hugs and support.
Can they do hugs just like us?
Yeah, they do.
What's your favorite book? Next to you there. What's your favorite book? Good night, gorilla.
Happy World Gorilla Day, everybody. We're so happy that we have a day in the year that's dedicated to the incredible animals here. And we can talk about how wonderful they are and how stunning they are, and what we do with them every day, and how we can help those in the wild too. And our goal is to save these animals from extinction, right? So I hope you enjoy your day with us, and Charles and his family. And if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat bar as we're going throughout this day. And again, thank you so much. And nothing but excited chest beats and yay! Gorilla Day!
The reason why I love gorillas is because they're really beautiful creatures, and because they treat their families really nicely and they care for their families.
Fantastic, guys. Personally, for my favorite reason I love gorillas, when I used to volunteer at the Toronto Zoo, my favorite interactions ever were with the gorillas. They're just the most amazing animals. For those of you in the Toronto area that have had the chance to go see them, it really is the most mutual understanding and just amazing connection you can have with an animal at the Toronto Zoo or at any zoo or anywhere in the wild. They really are an incredible species, and I'm so glad we're taking the chance today to celebrate them. The book, too, is a special add-on. Some of our folks joining us on YouTube have talked about the one and only Ivan. So a lot of gorilla love. Glad you guys are reading, learning more about what's going on at the zoo and more. And what I want to do now is bring up 2 other awesome videos highlighting some of the behind-the-scenes stuff that goes into caring for our gorillas at the Toronto Zoo before we dive back to our live team. So let me just bring those up right now. As I'm doing so, too, I'll just do a shout out to our classes in Arizona, Florida, Connecticut, all over Ontario, Alberta, BC, and more. You guys are really joining from all across the continent. It's such a pleasure to have you. Let's head to do a little blood draw training with Nasir. Come on in and we'll play this one and go from there. How cool is that? I love things like that. The Toronto Zoo, when they've joined us in programs in the past, highlight all the amazing ways they work to build trust with animals, get them for medicine. We've done this with rhinos in the past as well. Makes it seem a little bit easier to go and get a shot when you're getting your flu vaccine in a year or any other thing. Very, very cool, guys. I want to highlight one more video, our Training Tuesday with Johari, and then we'll head back to our live zoo friends. All right, one more video. Let's bring this up. Go for it. Here we go. Man, I wish they bribed me with fruit snacks when I had to go give blood pressure and other things. That's a good time. Let's head back to our zoo friends. We're going to learn a little bit about zoo conservation, the amazing work being done to save gorillas, stuff that you guys can do at home, and so much more. So turning it over to our fun team there. Take it away, guys.
Hi, everybody. One of the projects we have here at Toronto Zoo is called Phone Apes, and it's basically about collecting cell phones. And we have 100% land-free recycling cell phone program we've been doing since 2006, and we've collected, with your help, almost 50,000 cell phones since then, which is a very big deal because there is a mineral inside each of our cell phones that is mined heavily in the Democratic Republic of Congo. So because of that, we have the issues of deforestation, which is one of the leading reasons that these Western lowland gorillas are critically endangered. So just simply by recycling your cell phones with someone like us, the proceeds that we get from any kind of recycling program goes right back into Africa to help with the protection of the Western lowland gorillas. So it's an awesome program. We want to thank everybody this year that participated in our Gorillas on the Line campaign. This year alone, we've raised 2,303 cell phones, which is amazing. And it's been a very successful way to get involved with us and for us to get involved with everyone out there, school teachers, businesses that helped us out. We can't thank you enough. And we also have collection boxes throughout the city. We participate in this with the city program too. So if you are anywhere like in any civic center or the city hall, in addition to on site here at the zoo, we have collection boxes there too. So if you're around someplace, you want to unload any of that electronic, please put it in those boxes. Or you can come right to the zoo, to the front gate, drop right off and put your phone in and continue on your way if you can't make it in that day. So it's one of the better programs we have to help with the gorillas. Again, they're critically endangered, and it's so important that we do everything we can to keep them with us. We have a couple of projects we work almost exclusively with. You saw Ape Action Africa already. Give a little thank you to us. We also have one in Gabon, which we helped out this year too. And in a moment, you'll get a clip of what's going on over there. And hopefully they'll have a release site assessment sorted, and some of those gorillas will be able to see what it's like out in the wild again. So it's very important that we work together, and we need you as much as the gorillas do. So thank you so much for all the help you've given us this year.
Fantastic. Thank you guys so much for highlighting such an amazing program. So I put the Phone Apes link up on YouTube, Facebook. Anyone who's tuning in, you can check it out. Really, when a lot of us think of conservation, we think of big things. Maybe we want to go plant trees somewhere, maybe we want to donate, but it's so easy. You can take your cell phone, you can give it back, and you can help protect gorillas. What a special opportunity to do something very small to make an outsized impact. So as the team there said, I do want to play that video of what's happening in Gabon that the Toronto Zoo is helping coordinate. Such special work. And again, a lot of people don't know that zoos do work with a lot of places around the world to do in situ conservation, saving species of all kinds. Let's showcase a little bit of the gorilla work now and blow your minds. Let's bring that up and we are good to go. Awesome. I love things like that. What a cool video. Guys, we're going to dive in a minute. I'm going to take us back to our zoo team. I think we're almost ready for questions. I want to leave it to them if they have any last message before we dive into your Q&A, but some of you are already on the case and are sharing in all those chat bars. So zoo team, anything else you want to highlight before we dive in with questions? Hey, guys.
Any last words?
Oh, hi. Sorry, didn't know we were live again. No, it's great you being there with us, and we're looking forward to hear what questions you might have about gorillas.
Awesome. Well, in that case, let's dive in. So all of you guys are joining on YouTube and Facebook alike. So many questions have already come in. Let's dive in. Mr. Backus's class, they're joining us in Minnesota. They want to know, how do gorillas communicate with one another?
How do gorillas communicate with one another? Well, they communicate in so many ways. Either they are chest beating, playing, or maybe doing it seriously against each other. There's a lot of grumbles. A lot of tactile, which means they touch each other a lot. They also tickle each other, which is fun to watch and hear them giggle.
Yeah, it's they do have about 15 to 20 vocalizations in their repertoire, and it's a lot of body language. So that's how they communicate with each other.
Fantastic. I like that you highlighted all these things that are so familiar to people. And this is the thing with all the great apes that we share in this family with, is that we can really identify those forms of communication. If you go to the zoo and you see the gorillas live, you know what's going on. You can see those social interactions unfold. And that's something that's not quite possible with something like a snake or a lizard or necessarily even a rhino. It's something that, because we share this close relationship with gorillas, we get this special opportunity to understand what they're doing. So very cool question to kick us off, guys. All right, grade 8 class, Ms. Tanui's class in Toronto, right where you are. Can gorillas get human diseases like cancer?
Yes, they can. They can get it. It's important that we always wear our masks around them now, and even and our gloves when necessary, shields, a lot of all personal protective equipment, it's called. They can get everything we can. That's one of the leading causes of them being critically endangered too. It's disease.
I'm really, really glad we got that question. I wanted to highlight it because, again, the closer related you are to certain animals, the more likely you are to be able to possibly spread disease. So again, something like a lizard, unlikely to get the flu from you, unlikely to get something directly from a person, but gorillas can very easily transmit disease back and forth to people, which is a really, again, fantastic fact. Highlights everything that we're trying to celebrate today. All right, Ms. DeMayo's class, how large can a gorilla grow? Simple one, guys.
Okay, so the silverback will grow to be about 400, 450 pounds, and females are typically around 200 pounds. And they only stand about, they're always walking on all fours, so it's hard to see how tall they actually are, but if they were to stand right up, they're about 5'6", 5'7", depends on the gorilla. And yeah, so that's how big they get.
Yeah, awesome, guys. All right, Jen Lavelle wants to know, how's Charles doing with his arthritis? A personal question.
He's actually doing quite well, for a gorilla that's just about to turn 50. He's getting around quite well, and actually these last few weeks he's seemed really invigorated, and he's moving a little bit faster than he has been in the past. So I'm not sure what's happened, but yeah, he's doing really quite well, and we're so happy that we've got such a healthy older male.
Fantastic. I think this speaks to the zoo's role in really educating the public. The fact that there's personal interest in personal animals at the zoo is really amazing. So thank you so much, Jen, for that awesome question. All right, Miss Holden's class, they're joining us in Spruce Grove, Alberta. Dawson wants to know how they can run so fast when they are so heavy.
Well, they run fast, but not for long distances. So, if they're running away from somebody, then, they have to be able to run fairly quickly. But usually they sort of band together as a family, and if something is coming towards them, they're going to turn around and fight it. That silverback will protect his family. So he's not just going to keep running. He's going to turn around and, he'll face that adversary head on, and he's going to protect his family. Yeah. And they're quite strong. You don't want to mess with a silverback.
Yes, again, what I was going to stress with regards to speed is not that the gorillas are fast. We're really slow. Humans are like the weaklings of the animal kingdom. We're the slowest, we're the weakest. Pretty much everything can beat us up. Everything can beat us in a foot race. Usain Bolt's got nothing on most animals. So very cool question, guys. There are so many questions coming in. I love your enthusiasm, everybody. Okay, Mr. Beatty's kindergarten class wants to know, how do they open the bananas? Are they having bananas? Are they opening bananas? What's going on?
When the gorillas get bananas, it's a treat. We use bananas for training. It's one of their favorite foods, so we don't overuse it. It's very special. How do they open a banana? They open a banana just like we do. They do. They just peel it. Some could smash it. But they eat that banana. It is one of their favorite food items.
And they'll eat the peel as well.
Yes, they will eat the peel. Unlike us, we're a little bit fussier. They're like, I am so excited to have this banana. I am eating it all. So yeah, they just eat it.
I'm glad you added not like us in that one. We don't want to be gorillas, folks. Let's not eat those peels. Inspires children. Andrea Keating wants to know, have you ever let the gorillas watch movies or TV? And I'm really curious, if so, what do they watch?
Yeah, okay. What do the gorillas like to watch? So we 100% let them watch TV. The boys, especially, who I think you may or may not have photos of or see later on, the Siddiqui and Nasser, they get movie time all the time. I feel that they like movies about animals, other apes. The one that I've really noticed that they love is other gorillas. So at the sanctuary, Ape Action Africa, there's a DVD and it shows interaction with those gorillas, and their keepers and the staff are around. I feel that they love that one. There's also one of a guy named Jomo who he used to live here, and it's from Cincinnati. He has a hose and it's a whole thing. It's a short video, but they love it. Otherwise, DVDs, National Geographic, all of the gorilla documentaries, orangs, apes, chimps, and then cartoons. We the movie Zookeeper, it has that gorilla. Yeah, they like that as well. But yeah, they're all in.
Okay, but no classic films like Gone with the Wind or Casablanca just yet. We might try that in a future broadcast. All right, whole bunch of questions. Let's see what we want to take next. Bridget wants to know, how do the zookeepers remember the gorillas' names? I always love this question.
Well, we only have 7 gorillas, so it's not hard to remember all their names. Just think of yourself in a classroom. You remember all of your classmates' names, or you remember your family's names. So it's really not hard to forget. Only 7 gorillas, and they all look very different from each other. In case somebody's going to ask that question, how do you tell them apart? Well, the way I try and teach new people, first you look at size. So obviously Charles is the biggest, so you know he's the silverback. And then you look at, let's say Ngozi and Jaharian, they're fairly similar in size. So you would look at hair color, who's got more red in their hair, or maybe somebody has hair that sticks out somewhere a little bit more than the other one.
Nursing.
Yeah, who's nursing? Who are they hanging around with? So behavior is a big part of it, and you see how they're behaving with each other, and then you can sort of figure out who is who.
Yeah, I'm so glad we got that. I'm so glad you took it to the segue where you did. Again, we think of animals sometimes as being very generic, very similar. They must think humans are pretty similar. We're actually much more genetically related than a lot of animals. So a gorilla troop will have more genetic diversity than pretty much an entire continent of people. And so we tell them apart because they look different. They seem different to us, just like we tell each other's friends' faces apart. And I love sharing that question for gorillas and for all animals at the Toronto Zoo. All right, more questions than we can shake a stick at. This is great, guys. Nora and Max want to know, so Aaron's kids, how old is the oldest gorilla?
Hi there. Yeah, the oldest gorilla actually lives in Zoo Atlanta, and his name is Ozzy, and he's 60 years old. He's the oldest male gorilla in North America, and in the world, actually. So there you go.
Okay.
How long can they live? You want to know that, maybe?
Yeah, come on.
The gorillas can live typically late 30s, early 40s is what they're saying. But of course, they live a little bit longer in managed care like this. We have a few females throughout the world that are at 62, which is exceptional. And again, Charles here at 50 is almost 50 is quite exceptional too.
Yeah. You mentioned the fact that they live longer in managed care, and this is something that we always get this question, how do they survive? Are they healthier in the zoo? Are they happier in the zoo? So one thing that the Toronto Zoo has that I want to always stress when we do programs with you guys is AZA or CAZA certification. So CAZA is the Canadian equivalent. AZA you'll see in the States. We've got folks joining from all across North America today. And so when you go to a zoo, when you go to an aquarium, look for this accreditation. What it means is that the facility is at the highest standards of animal care. They've got amazing people like our zoo team today that you guys got to see live and in the recordings. It means that those animals are healthy, they're happy, they're well cared for, they're bred to ensure genetic diversity, all sorts of great things to help ensure that the animals are happy and the public gets educated in the best possible way. So look for those sort of certifications. It means you're making a really responsible choice when you go to visit places with animals. All right, let's take a question from Lisa. Lisa wants to know, what do they eat when they live at the zoo from Fatima in Miss Ratchford's class?
Sorry, what was the question?
What do they eat? Yeah, here.
Oh, lots of produce. So anything that you would buy in the grocery store, we buy it as well. So, green peppers, cucumbers, beets, carrots, sweet potatoes, all the different types of lettuces, anything like that. So no meat. Gorillas do not eat meat. So it's lots and lots of produce. And they also get something called chaff biscuit formulated for leaf-eating primates, and they get that as well on a daily basis.
They also get flax meal, ground flax meal, and we mix that up with herbal tea, and they love that. They get that every evening. What else do they get?
They get some seeds, and of course the forage. We can't forget about the browse. So you can see it all over the exhibit right now.
Yeah. Guys, I love this idea of gorillas drinking herbal tea while watching National Geographic documentaries. It sort of is like my last weekend. All right, let's take a couple more questions. This is great, guys. They keep rolling in. Miss Babbitt's class wants to know about something that's near and dear to my heart, animal enrichment. How do you keep the gorillas stimulated so they don't get bored in their enclosure?
Our family unit, and they have each other and they enrich each other constantly. We kind of supplement that with things like you see, the boxes, devices that like little Charlie there's trying to get a piece of lettuce out of. It's like a feeder. She'll work at that till she gets it all out. Gorillas are extremely intelligent individuals. So we need to provide them a way to look for their food, and forage is what they do in the wild. They forage all day long and sleep. So here we try to simulate the same thing by putting food all around. They have to forage for it, which is enriching right there. We also do a lot of training with them. So we want them to participate in their own health care. They really enjoy the training because it's like I say to you guys are in school. This Jahari, wherever she is, I always focus on her. Jahari's like one of the best kids in the class. Her hand is always up. She knows the answer to every training behavior we're asking her to do pretty much. So they really enjoy that kind of interaction with their keepers. They get special treats for that, and they just enjoy being successful. They like to know they've done something correctly. So that alone is enriching too, and it helps us help them with their own health care.
Outstanding. What a great nuanced answer. You mentioned them sleeping, and I want to focus on this for a second. In the wild, where do gorillas sleep? It's one of my favorite facts about them, and I really want to make sure our whole class knows this today.
Gorillas sleep in nests. All these material you see out here, this is Aframolm and wild ginger. So in the wild, the gorillas will eat as much of that wild ginger as they want, and the leftover bits of it, they form nests with. Every night they make a new one, and they'll sleep in that throughout the night. And that's how we do our census of gorillas. We'll go and count the nests in the wild to see how many were there. Here in Toronto, we give them things like wood wool and shaving and plant life. And the gorillas make their own nests, and it's kind of fun to watch them do it because it's just a natural behavior of them. It's not something they learn. It's very instinctual, and they start it quite early. And it's like a donut shaped, and they'll sit in that and sleep in that. Charlie will sleep with her mom, or she might sleep by herself, and the rest will make their own nests at night.
I distinctly remember as a kid with my first big animal book seeing gorillas and nests in the same sentence. And it's like one of the few things I had to do a double take on. So I'm so glad we got that question. All right, we're going to take 2 more questions before we play an awesome featurette from our friends at Earth Rangers. As I said, this is a 3-part organization partnership for today's World Gorilla Day, so I want to make sure you guys get the chance to see that awesome video. I'm trying to take questions from all the classes I can. I know there's more of you than we'll ever get to in one broadcast, but I appreciate and love your enthusiasm. Hopefully we get all your questions answered on total. All right, Nathaniel in Mr. Lato's class wants to know if the gorillas are aggressive and if they're more or less aggressive than in their natural habitat.
No, they're not. Naturally, no, they're not aggressive unless they're feeling threatened. Then, of course, they will be aggressive. They can be with each other sometimes, but then when you look at your own family grouping, you fight with one another, and sometimes family members can get aggressive with each other, and the same happens with gorillas. But overall speaking, no, gorillas generally are not aggressive. And are they more aggressive in the wild? If you have different family groups that end up coming together, then yes, they could be. Or the most aggression you're going to see is when one silverback encounters another, especially if it's a solitary silverback and he encounters another silverback and he's trying to take over that family and wants to steal some females. That's when you're going to have the real aggression happening. And then the 2 males will start fighting with one another. There's a lot of posturing going on. They do that first. They try to avoid fighting at all costs. But if it comes down to it, if that male has to defend his status with his females, yeah, he will fight that other male. And then it can become quite aggressive.
Yeah, I love the nuance in that
Considered
answer.
the Zen ape.
I was going to say, actually, so, within the family of apes, gorillas are well known for being really calm. Chimpanzees are much more aggressive, so much more like us, actually, as people. But with gorillas, very calm, very peaceful, more a protective thing than anything else. Great question, guys. All right, I'm going to take one more, and then we're going to go to Earth Rangers for a few minutes, and then come back for a few questions to wrap us up. So, Kathy, joining on the Zoo Facebook, wants to know, do the gorillas at the zoo make happy sounds when they eat? I know, I had some lip-smackingly delicious lunch earlier today, some awesome leftover pizza. Do gorillas do that same thing or not?
Yes, they do.
What do they sound like? What is it like? Who wants to do a demonstration?
Like, purring, happy sound. Sometimes they call it singing. It is my favorite part of the day. Do you want to know what I find? I find these kids loudest, faster. They all have their different, we'll say, songs. Oh,
we're cutting out a little bit, folks. Here's what we're going to do.
Sorry, it's the anticipation of food, too.
Yes.
I know.
We got that they did, and then a little bit was lost there. So what we'll do is we'll play this video. Hopefully we get the connection a little better. I know you guys are right in the middle of the zoo in a big enclosure. I'm going to play that video and highlight a little bit about Earth Rangers and how your kids can keep the learning going long after you're done. So stay tuned for this, and then we'll head back to the zoo team, see if we can get the end of that answer, take a couple more questions before we wrap up. So as I said, this is a joint partnership. We're at Exploring by the Seat of Your Pants. We do digital education through broadcasts around the world. The Toronto Zoo, of course, not only on site in Toronto, but globally highlights amazing education and conservation stories about the amazing animals they have there. And Earth Rangers is the kids conservation organization. So they've got an incredible website. If you want to check it out at earthrangers.com, you can find out all they do to help educate the public, get kids involved in really special missions to be involved and engaged with conserving wildlife and wild places. And they've got an incredible app. So that's what we're going to feature today a little bit more about what Earth Rangers does, how you can get involved with our app, how you can keep that learning going, and a special code from today's broadcast and from our partnership with Earth Rangers on how you can get points in that program. So let's bring that up for you guys, and let's dive in. Thanks for tuning in. All right.
Hey everyone, this is Kyla from Earth Rangers, and we are the Kids Conservation Organization.
We work with thousands of kids across Canada to help protect our planet and the incredible animals that call it home. Now, I hear you love animals, and that's why I want to talk to you about the Earth Rangers app. Before we do that, I have a special guest with me that I want you to meet. This is Millie, the three-banded armadillo. I'm going to put Millie down so you can see her up close and personal as she runs around. Do you see how she walks on her tippy toes? It might look unusual, but it certainly doesn't slow her down. These pointed toes actually come in handy when she needs to dig through the dirt or break apart tree bark to catch insects. She's also got a really long, sticky tongue that she can use to slurp up hundreds of ants and termites from their mouths. Now, armadillos are famous for their ability to curl up into a ball. It offers them the ultimate protection from their predators. By curling up, Millie's face, belly, and legs are all hidden and protected from danger by her armor, which are these bony plates covered in super tough skin made from keratin, the same material that your nails are made out of. So good luck getting through that. But no matter how prepared armadillos like Millie are to defend against predators, there are other dangers that her armor won't protect her from in the wild. Threats like habitat loss and climate change are making life difficult for lots of animals in the wild, and they need our help. And that's exactly where you come in as an Earth Ranger and an animal saving hero. Right now is the best time to get involved. As an Earth Ranger, you can support important conservation work for animals right here in Canada, like river otters in the Saskatchewan River Delta and grizzly bears in Canada's north. You can also do things like our missions, where you can get involved to make a difference in your own community. There's over 20 different missions to choose from, like Live, Love, Local, where we challenge you to shrink your carbon footprint by eating food grown locally, or H2O Harvester, where you can make a rain barrel to collect rainwater to help prevent harmful runoff from polluting local waterways. Just download the Earth Rangers app and become an official Earth Ranger member. You'll also have access to things like the Earth Rangers podcast, daily fun trivia questions, Wildfire blog, and so much more. But it gets even better. You'll earn points for everything you do as an Earth Ranger, and as you level up, new habitats, animals, and bonus items for your avatar will get unlocked. Now, Millie and I have a special gift for you. If you use the code Millie in the Earth Rangers app, you'll get 25 bonus points to start you on your animal saving journey. That's Millie, M-I-L-L-I-E. Don't forget to write that down. And remember, when you get home, don't forget to download the free Earth Rangers app to start saving animals today. Bye, everyone.
Fantastic. Thank you so much to our team there. Oh, and our video in the back of my screen, but that got really loud, really fast. Sorry for that, folks. Thank you guys so much for tuning into that. We will highlight that code at the end of the broadcast and email to all our registered classes at Exploring by the Seat of Your Pants too. And note that we highlighted a lot of amazing Canadian content there. I know we've got a big US audience today. If you want to download the app, you are welcome to, of course. The more kids we have around the world committed to conservation, the better we will all be. And so I want to head back to our zoo team to finish off that question about animal happy sounds and then ask one more of my own before we wrap up. Time flies when you're having fun. I hope you guys have had a great gorilla day, but I want to make sure we get in a few more questions before ending the broadcast. So zoo team, welcome back.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. Oh, connection's way better. So we were talking about a gorilla happy sound, the fact that they're like us. What is the sound that they make? I'm so curious before we dive in with one last question.
It's really, really, really impossible for me to imitate it, but it is my favorite sound that they make. It's the favorite part of my shift. I love it so much. I try to capture it all of the time. It's like a grumbling, happy sound. Like a purr. They call it singing. It's in anticipation of food. They know dinner's happening. It's while they're eating. It's really loud in some of them, and it's very, very subtle in others. I find Charles is a little bit quiet. Gozy and her kids, they're loud. Mika, I would say out here, is the loudest. It's yeah, it's true. They do have a happy sound for when they're about to eat.
I like that there's differences between the various gorillas. I think, we've got Canadian Thanksgiving coming up. We're all used to that big gathering of family around the table, and some people are just a little bit more enthusiastic than others about a good meal. So very cool, right? One question I always like to highlight as we wrap up, and I know you guys talked about this in the broadcast, but if you're coming in for the first time, some people joined us halfway through, what can we do at home to help protect gorillas? If you're joining us in Saskatchewan, in Arizona, in Ontario, wherever you happen to be tuning in from, what can we do to help the gorillas in the wild?
Well, you can do lots of things, really. We'll focus on the electronic recycling first, because there's cell phone recycling is very important for gorillas, because there's a mineral inside each phone that is called coltan, and it's mined almost specifically in Democratic Republic of Congo, which is prime gorilla habitat. And when you're mining in prime gorilla habitat, you're causing deforestation, and we're losing our gorillas right there, right then and there. So one of the things you can do is by recycling your cell phones and electronics, and there's lots of places to do that. But here at Toronto Zoo, when we do it, we know that any proceeds we get, it goes directly back to Africa. So you know you're actually helping gorillas simply by recycling your electronics with us. You can always look at how you're buying wood. Try to buy it sourced sustainably, so you're not buying wood that's potentially been through a logging concession that gorillas lived in. Simply recycling everything, plastics, spreading the word, letting people know how great these guys are if you think they are, which they definitely are. So, sharing this video, advocating any way you can, because we need as many conservation activists out there as we can get. And you kids are the beginning. So please spread the word.
Fantastic. I always love that message with regards to conservation. Really, telling your friends, telling your family makes such a world of difference. It is impossible to help conserve something if we don't love it, and we can't love something unless we know more about it. So these videos stay up on our YouTube channel, Toronto Zoos Forever. So if you want to check them out, send them to friends and family, see what's going on at the Toronto Zoo to save gorillas, please do so. It makes a world of difference. Guys, this has been so much fun. Thank you so much for joining us for an awesome World Gorilla Day. What I want to highlight again, for anyone tuning in, head to torontozoo.com. So much there on the incredible work that they do for gorillas and all the animals at the zoo. And if you want to donate your phone or find out how you can share your phone to help save gorillas, Phone Apes. So look up Phone Apes. You'll see this link below. It's on the screen. A great opportunity to keep the excitement going. And of course, what we shared earlier in the broadcast as well was this Earth Rangers partnership. So if you want to go home, download this app, keep the excitement going. You can get the app. You can use the code Millie. It'll give you points on the way to becoming a conservation leader as a young person. And truly, your generation's the best. You guys have 100,000 student marches around the globe. You know the facts. You know the science. You're vested in protecting the world and animals around it. And so thank you guys so much for your enthusiasm. So many great teachers today. Zoo team, we really appreciate you being here today, and have a wonderful rest of the afternoon. Bye for now, guys, and thank you guys so much for joining us on World Gorilla Day. Bye, everybody.